Welcome to the Undrift. And welcome back to the Undrift. The question today is, what happens if you choose the absolute wrong drift car? Well, we're going to find out. Maybe the track helps a little. We'll see. Thanks for joining me. Let's have a little fun. Oh no. I just chose to drift an all-wheel drive Lancer. Can I do this? Well, maybe. I mean, we can kind of get it to slide sideways into the barrier. I mean, it is all-wheel drive. Let's see what we can do here. With some handbrake, we can get it to slide a little. But the front end's going to come around because there's power to those wheels all the time. We can kind of slide it, but again, there is power to those wheels all the time. I mean, if you're really good at drifting, you might be able to drift a very high horsepower all-wheel drive, but this isn't it. And you're gonna struggle. But yeah, technically it's sort of possible. Personally, I'd rather have fun than struggle. Well, how about this cool looking Mitsubishi Eclipse? Maybe I can drift that. I mean, it's front wheel drive, right? Yeah, and you can lock up the rear end and kind of slide it around. It could be fun, I guess. But you're not going to get the full drift experience like you'd get from some other vehicle. Oddly enough, it actually is easier to drift than an all-wheel drive. This one happens to be dog slow and horribly underpowered. But you can still have a little fun with it. I mean, as far as a front-wheel drive car goes, this is probably the best you could hope for in a drift situation. Although a little more power would be good. So what happens when you bring an actual drift car to the same situation? Well, you can drift. If you could drift in the first place. Which I may not be the best at. Especially not in third person. But you get the picture. The rear end slides. You can control the power to the rear end normally. You make a little smoke. You might still hit things because the reality is it takes a fair amount of practice to do this well. But every once in a while, you might do a drift that looks halfway decent, feels halfway decent, and maybe even not hit anything. Or, of course, you could take a car that you're actually familiar with and throw it around turns just to see what will happen. And you might actually have a little fun drifting a nice rear-wheel drive car that's meant for drifting. It doesn't mean you'll be perfect. It doesn't mean you'll make every turn. But you'll probably have fun doing it. Well, the reality is, if you're not having fun doing this, why bother? And you know what? I'm still having fun with it. Something about that tire smoke. That nice slide. It just makes it all worth it. I don't have to manji every straight. I don't have to make every turn perfect. I don't have to not hit everything. Just face it. I'm gonna make mistakes. Gonna hit stuff. But in the meantime, I can have fun with it and make a little tire smoke. You know, like that. Get some angle going. And just have fun. I will say this is a little more difficult doing this in third person. I've gotten very used to doing this in first person. And things just don't look right. But it's still fun. And it definitely reminds me where I started. Drifting with the wheel. And all the struggles I had doing that until I decided first person was the way to go. And even better, to jump into VR and do this occasionally. But it's definitely still fun either way. So if you pick the wrong car, have fun with it. See what you can do. If you pick the right car, work with it. See what it can do for you. You might actually find out you're better than you thought. But either way, keep those tires smoking. Keep that car sideways. And keep on having fun. Well, I had some fun. I drifted an all-wheel drive Lancer. Sort of, I guess. Whatever. I drive an all-wheel drive Subaru every day, and I know it's not a drift car. No matter how much horsepower you put to it, it's probably never going to be a drift car, but it's still fun to drive. Also tried to drift a front-wheel drive Eclipse. Again, it was a little better than the all-wheel drive, but still not a great drift car. I drifted another drift car that I'm not familiar with, and it didn't go well. I did finally drift a car I've drifted all the time. You've seen it on here many times if you've actually watched my channel. And that went a lot better. Still hit things because that's me, whatever. Not a big deal. But I had a lot more fun with it. And again, the reality is, have some fun with it. Keep it sideways. Keep them tires smoking. Keep the rubber on the ground. We'll see you next time on the Undrift.